We will begin here in the UK, where a day after England's reopening, the UK government has warned of an increase in coronavirus-related deaths in the coming weeks. England has lifted nearly all its COVID-19 restrictions. The UK's chief scientific advisor Patrick Vallance, however, says the number of deaths and hospitalisations will not be at the level seen in previous waves because of the vaccination campaign.
We are seeing an increase in the number of deaths, but at a much lower level. But they again will continue to increase as infections increase, and will be expected to reach over 100, possibly a lot over 100, but we'll see an increase in deaths over the next few weeks as the infections rise, but at a much lower level again because of the protection of vaccination.
Prime Minister Boris Johnson joined the briefing via video link because he himself is isolating. He confirmed he plans to make proof of double vaccination a condition of entry to nightclubs and other crowded venues from the end of September. On Monday, nightclubs in England opened at full capacity for the first time in 17 months.
I don't want to have to close nightclubs again, as they have elsewhere. But it does mean nightclubs need to do the socially responsible thing and make use of the NHS COVID pass, which shows proof of vaccination, a recent negative test, or natural immunity as a means of entry. As we said last week, we do reserve the right to mandate certification at any point if it's necessary to reduce transmission. And I should serve notice now that by the end of September, when all over 18s will have had their chance to be double jabbed, we're planning to make full vaccination the condition of entry to nightclubs and other venues where large crowds gather.
As Britain unlocks, scientists forecast it will soon have more daily new infections than it did in the previous wave earlier this year. On the vaccination front, the UK has decided against giving mass COVID-19 vaccinations to all children and said they will only be offered in certain situations. Children with severe neurodisabilities, Down syndrome, immunosuppression and profound and multiple learning disabilities will be eligible for the vaccine in new guidance released by the government. For more on this, we're being joined now by WION correspondent Chris Jones. And Chris, tell me, what exactly has the government decided and, crucially, why?
Well, yesterday we heard the Vaccines Minister Nadhim Zahawi address the House of Commons and set out a series of recommendations put forward by the Joint Committee on Vaccinations and Immunisations. Within those recommendations was the advice that 12 to 15-year-olds should be, who are clinically vulnerable, as you've mentioned, so suffer from the likes of Down syndrome and cancer, should be offered a dose of a coronavirus vaccine. That vaccine being the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, which is the only one that is clinically proven for children in this country. And to add to that, children who are aged 12 to 17 who also live with vulnerable people are to be offered a vaccine too. That's to protect them and to keep hospitalisations low. But despite that, children, the majority of children across the country will not be offered a coronavirus vaccine. That's because they're deemed to be low risk and aren't expected to develop adverse reactions or serious illness and have to be hospitalised if they are diagnosed with COVID-19. But for those children that will receive a coronavirus vaccine, the Vaccines Minister Nadhim Zahawi said that the NHS will be in contact with them as soon as possible.
OK, Chris, thank you. That's Chris Jones reporting from London.